temperature out. It's 80 degrees every day pretty much. 27 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Fahrenheit here in southern Ontario still. What's up guys, James Palms here. Wednesday, September 17th. Just looking here, I started draining my pool for the winter. Definitely don't really need to. Temperature's good, but nobody wants to go swimming, so and I don't feel like heating it because the water was dropping down. The nights being cool, nights are headed down roughly around 55 degrees. Daytime 75 to 80 degrees. Today's right about 80. Every day it's getting sort of middle of the afternoon, 80, 81. A little bit warm, you start to sweat a little bit, but most of the day it's beautiful. Mornings are a little bit cool, nights cool off a little bit. So yeah, like the lowest lows we're going down to like 60 to 55 usually at night. It's been like that for 2 weeks, and 80 through the day, 75 to 80 through the day, mostly 80. Pretty much every day it's been 80 degrees the last week or two. Gorgeous female Trachycarpus fortunei here. Just pushed out tons of new fronds from the winter after I crushed all those leaves down. There is baby palms washing up all over my entire property. Everywhere I look, there's one here. There's baby palm trees everywhere. There's a bunch in there. They're in the grass. I had a bunch of these seeds sitting here, and they've just been getting scattered and moved, and that's like, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 seeds, just seed stalks, and I didn't know what to do with them. I was gonna bury them somewhere, just in a park or something, but, or not bury, just scatter them, but oh well. I didn't really do anything. I just kind of let them sit there. So I don't know, maybe in the spring or somewhere I'll just fire them somewhere in one corner and just see what happens, or maybe I'll do that in the fall here. But yeah, so this guy here is, I think it's either 7 or 8 years. I think it's 7 years old this year. Looking gorgeous from the time I brought the seed home. Mexican fan palm from got the seed on the Earl O. Bronson Memorial Highway 192 in Kissimmee, Florida. Kissimmee, whatever you want to call it, just outside of Disney World. So came home, it's got a gorgeous trunk on it. It's been growing awesome, grew in a pot for several years, and have an annual video. I'm about to do one of those videos. There's a US 16 with the trunk. It's about 3.5 feet of trunk, 3 feet of trunk so far, about 8.5 feet overall height, maybe 9 feet of overall height, perhaps about 8.5, right to the top of those fronds. All these babies here that planted themselves. There's more seeds coming in here, more seedlings all at the bottom. Tons of tiny little new seedlings, little strap ones. There's a few here just filling in now, getting their little adult fronds from maybe the year before, but a lot of these, all of them are making adult fronds, nice little trunks on them all. It's a good spot here where you can see a couple of the trunks. Getting up to here, it'll be hard to start to conceal some of these. Might have to trim some of the fronds off, or get some burlap or something like that and try to wrap it all around the base of them to try to pinch them in to fit them in the box at the bottom, because they're going to start to get in the way. And I don't even know over long term if the trunks are going to get in the way. If they do, we'll have to dig some of them up. But anyways, yeah, doing a full yard update. So this one never did great this year. Put out, a frond a month. Didn't do awesome, but a bunch of these were still kind of the laggy fronds from coming out of winter, and they hung around. So I trimmed off a couple more, but even though it was a really nice hot summer, it didn't push like it should have. Maybe because it was holding on to these crappy ones. Not exactly sure what it's doing. This was one of my fastest growing. Watered it, and I fertilized my lawn, and a little bit of lawn fertilizer got into there, so maybe that'll help. I'm sure I'll trim off most of these leaves, I think, wrap her up for the winter, and I'm sure next year will be better. I believe it was last year. This one looked like crap, and that one looked awesome. And it just kind of happens, especially with these, if they're growing a little too fast in the box, it kind of puts them behind, and then they don't have a great growing season. If they come out and they have 5 or 10 fronds on them that still look dark green in the box, and they come out and they pop like this and they look incredible, like that one there. Whereas I keep I keep 10, 15 fronds or so on it, and then it puts out 20 or whatever, and it looks incredible. At a certain point, they're going to just take off, and you never know. Sometimes they won't do much for a couple months, sometimes won't do much for a couple years, but usually eventually they'll just take off. This one has been a really good grower. It's still got lots of girth in the trunk, I'm sure, with a good growing season, and maybe it does need some fertilizer, it'll definitely take off. The leaves that are coming out now are nice. I would just need a second summer right now and this thing would take off. And sometimes you can try trimming off these fronds so it doesn't like use them to limp by and spur a bit of growth. Some people say it would grow faster with less fronds, but looks incredible. This one with the mama here, great little palm corner here. And this one's still doing great, not yellowing off any fronds. These are usually holding them all. These will hold, trackies will hold tons and tons and tons of fronds. The fronds don't look as nice, but they'll definitely hold way more. I mean, a nice healthy in the ground Mexican fan palm will hold a ton too, but trackies will hold them the whole way up. You could be green if they're properly fertilized and everything. Tiki bar is looking great. Of course, grass has kind of come back around. It's been still pretty hot and pretty dry, but we did get a little bit of rain, and then I've been watering back here especially. So I flooded this just the other day too with the whole swimming pool. So got quite a bit of water in this area here, but big Mexican fan palm, looking bold and beautiful as usual. About 7.5 feet, 7.5 to 8 feet to the top of the trunk, about 7.5 feet to the crown. Gorgeous looking trunk, probably about, I would say about 15, oh gosh, it's just every time I look it's getting bigger, about 15 to 16 feet to the top of those fronds up there. Here's I'm 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", and this is right at my eye level. Right here is this part of the trunk. This is eye level right here. So that's a 6-foot fence. You can kind of see roughly. So there's eye level. Trunk looking awesome. Didn't do any fiber stripping this year, but it did grow quite a bit of overall height to its trunk this year. It would probably grew 6 to 8 inches, maybe even a foot of trunk this year, I'd say. The trunk doesn't necessarily always correlate to the speed of growth, but I trimmed these off in the spring and some of these off in the fall, and then now we're putting out fronds way up there. So yeah, definitely put on about a foot, I'd say, of trunk this year. Looking gorgeous. So many fronds here. A lot of all these low hanging ones I got to take off. Took off each year in the fall and spring. I take off upwards of 10 to up to 20 fronds off of it, and then it still usually has lots. So I mean, you can see in there there's a heck of a lot of fronds on it still. But yeah, garden's still doing great. Everything, of course, haven't been anywhere close to a frost. The cool nights at like I said, the cooler nights at 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not great, and 80 degrees through the day. We'll take a quick look here at the front yard. We haven't done the front yard in a while, but both trackies back here, everything's doing great. Let's take a quick look at the front yard. They kind of popped out recently, and that'll be it. My potted stuff. Here's the super cold hardy Mexican fan palm. These all did nothing, no repotting, no fertilizer. They all did great. Phoenix Frequinatus, that one actually is the only palm that I repotted this whole year. This one here has been in that pot for about 5 years now. And at a standstill, but still put out 3 or 4 nice looking fronds. It's funny because its brother has always looked nicer and bigger than it, and this one actually has more green fronds on it than it, or not more, and the ones on that palm are way bigger, but this one has a similar amount of fronds that are green. These two are starting to yellow right out here, these two Trachy, Carpus fortunei. These are from Banana Joe from Vancouver area, for the west coast of Canada, but they've been in those pots for 6 years or so, 5-6 years. They're at a standstill, and they've needed fertilizer for a long time. No new soil, new fertilizer, nothing. Just been going like that, but they still keep staying semi-green and pump them out, but they're starting to yellow now. They definitely need some fertilizer. So yeah, definitely got to get some fertilizer. I want to give those away to a friend. I don't want to bring them inside them. I don't need any more trackies. I have hundreds in the ground that are growing from seed that, as you can see, haven't been watering up here, so grass dried out pretty good, pretty dry. It's been still a bit of a drought and very hot. Like I said, well, not very hot, like nice 80 degrees as opposed to 90 or 95 or whatever. So, but nice full new round of fronds on there, pushed out. Still looks bushy. This one always keeps its bed head because of how many leaves I have to crush off it, and it never loses a single leaf. But actually nice, it almost takes the whole area of my front house here. I believe this wall is 9 foot or 10 foot long, I think. So you can really see it's really bushy, really girthy. I think it's a 9 foot wall, and it almost covers the whole thing. But it's nice because it still lets light in that window without anybody really being able to see in with the palm tree trunk. I planted one of them in front of each of the windows, and this one looks great, of course. This one always stays tidier. Even though I had to crush it a little bit, it still stayed tidier. But put out a nice couple of fronds, probably 7 or 8 fronds, maybe 10 fronds this year. Looking great. Very, very tidy looking. Nice dark green. And the trunk's kind of catching up a little bit. This one's got about 4.5 feet of trunk, 4 feet, 4.5 feet of trunk, and that one's about 5.5, almost 6 feet of trunk. Yeah, to the top of the crown, almost 7 feet probably, because that's a 8.5. That wall to that rooftop there is almost 10 feet. So, and the whole overall height's definitely about 11, 12 feet. And that one's right at about 9 feet, something like that. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that's the whole full yard update. Definitely should have been watering, but hopefully the grass will come back. We're gonna start getting some rain one of these days, I'm sure of it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. More palm tree videos here from Southern Ontario. You can really see the Mexican fan palm popping over that fence. It is. There was a time when it was not even halfway up the fence, so. Yep. All right, later.